U.S. manufacturing is in retreat and Trump's tariffs aren't helping. Wall Street Journal story, okay? The manufacturing boom President Trump promised would usher in a golden age for America is going to in reverse. After years of economic intervention by the Trump and Biden administration, fewer Americans are working in manufacturing than any point in since the pandemic ended. Manufacturers shed workers in each of their 8 months after Trump unveiled Liberation Day tariffs, according to federal figures, extending a contraction that has seen more than 200,000 roles disappear, and index factory activity tracked by the Institute for Supply Management shrunk in 26 straight months through December, but showed a January uptick in newer and production that surprised analysts. The Census Bureau estimates that manufacturing construction spending, which surged with Biden-era funding for chips and renewable energy, fell in each of Trump's first 9 months in office. By the way, this is a Wall Street Journal story. Tom, your thoughts?
So first of all, I think what we need to do, whenever you get a story like this, I like to look at the dates and the numbers and to really look carefully. So they have pointed out, the Wall Street Journal has said 200,000 roles disappeared since January 1st,
Rob, can you go a little bit lower, please? Can you go? There you go. Go
so
for it,
these
Tom.
roles disappeared. 200,000 manufacturing jobs disappeared since January of 23. Wait a minute. 23 and 24 belong to Biden. The election was in November of 24. But they've continued to slide during the first 8 months of Trump. So the point is the 200,000 roles did not disappear under Trump. 160,000 of them disappeared under Biden. And they say the job pullback is actually gradual. This is a headline pushing up here. Now, what's the truth? The truth is we need the manufacturing jobs that Trump wanted to stimulate to get factories built and things done so that we could have that. Construction is moving. Building data centers. If I'm a concrete guy or I'm a metal worker, there are all kinds of data center projects, Pat, that I can go to a lot of places and get a job. The other part of manufacturing needs to catch up, and the president is trying, but he hasn't got there yet. But for the Journal to put the whole 200,000 on him is really disingenuous because 23 and 24 do belong to Biden. But the president needs to work, I think, harder and get his advisors to push and his cabinet to push faster to get these manufacturing jobs to start in America because it does need to turn back.
Jeff.
I think there's a couple things here, and Tom, you're right. This is not a story about tariffs or administration. This is an economic trend that began, like you said, 2023, which when you had an economic shift across the world. We came out of the pandemic. A lot of people were home. They bought a lot of stuff on Amazon. There was I wouldn't call it a boom, maybe a boomlet in manufacturing, and that quickly faded in 2023, heading into 2024. And so the manufacturing industry, really the whole entire production and goods economy, has been retreating slowly. Like you said, it's not a crash. It's been more of a disequilibrium moving toward a lower equilibrium. Mm-hmm. So if you want to, I think the thrust of this article is to say that the Trump administration's tariffs haven't been able to arrest that slide at the very least and create a recovery. But I think that's an unrealistic expectation. This has nothing to do with tariffs. This has everything to do with the macroeconomic climate, which tariffs really aren't really meant to deal with. So this is more about manufacturing than it is about tariffs.
Brandon.
Yeah, no, so first of all, with the Rand Paul thing where he said that if it was to go the right way, it should go through Congress. No, not necessarily. So the rule is that if it has to do with national security, the president can do it, but if it has to do strictly with economics, then it has to go through Congress. But you can make any situation be both national security and economics. And, the real goal of tariffs...
But that argument needs to be accepted by the Supreme Court.
Right.
You can make that case. Supreme Court has to buy into that argument.
Yeah.
They could say, no, we don't side with you, and it's 5-9, and he loses it.
Right. I'm just saying that Rand Paul's wrong if he believes that it should go through Congress because of it being the economic argument rather than national security, in my opinion.
What's crazy is, where I land with tariffs, that the president needs to have that in his arsenal to use when negotiate on behalf of the American people, but it's irrelevant what you and I think.
Yeah.
If Supreme Court comes out and says, no, go through Congress, do you know what happens?
Right.
Obamacare. The Supreme Court said Obamacare was a tax. Remember that?
And then what happened?
That was, the argument was that Obamacare was illegal, forcing people to buy health insurance for all those various reasons.
Sure.
And the Roberts court came out, and remember, Roberts was the deciding opinion on that and said, no, we're going to call Obamacare a tax, therefore it's legal. They jumped through a bunch of legal hoops to make sure that Obamacare stayed in place. I'm not sure.
You're saying Trump's team's going to jump through a bunch of loops?
No, I think the Supreme Court might do the same thing here with tariffs and say, look, we did it with Obamacare. Why don't we do it here? The public policy is, as it's expressed by the Trump administration, makes a good enough argument. There's a legal basis for it. So who are we to intercede in what should be Congress's job?
And then that's national security to the highest extent. I mean, so this article is misleading because it's missing the point of tariffs. The point of tariffs is to protect industries in America that are critical to national defense, like steel manufacturers, concrete, pharmaceuticals, defense. And if other countries can jump in and undersell those industries, that's why steel companies and manufacturers have evaporated since we let China into the World Trade Organization, since we started doing business with them in the 70s. So, the point of tariffs isn't to rapidly expand the amount of manufacturer workers we have. It's to protect the companies that are building the things that are critical to national defense and that are critical to, when we're in times of war. So, it's misleading and missing the point with that. And I think it's naturally there's going to be some growing pains with it. We haven't even fully gotten into a tariff situation yet, but there's going to be some growing pains with it. It's been like a year and a half, and other countries wouldn't use tariffs if there wasn't something to it.
That's another thing. I mean, the rest of the world is starting to do the same thing. I mean, Mexico is imposing tariffs on mainly Chinese goods and things like the Europeans are talking about doing the same thing. So I think that's more national security issue. I mean, look at what everybody else is doing.
And you know what concerns me with this? Let me tell you what it concerns me with this. Okay, so which sports can you guys openly talk about with penalties or fouls?
NFL.
Let's go NFL. So if I'm a cornerback, you're a wide receiver, I'm running. How many yards can I touch you and push you? First 5 yards. Okay, great. After that, if I do, what do they call it?
Incidental contact or PI.
If you're running
it's subjective.
and it's a Hail Mary you're throwing with 2 seconds left, you throw it up, and you're going up, I pull your jersey down from the back, what's going to be called?
Pass interference.
PI. Now imagine the following. Imagine if NFL opens up and goes to Europe, and they open up a team out of Nuremberg, Germany, whatever you want to call it, right? And Nuremberg, Germany comes and plays the Chiefs. And in Nuremberg, Germany, their PI laws are different than ours, okay? So they come in, and then KC plays them, and the guy pulls his jersey down, and U.S. ref throws a yellow flag. That's a penalty. He's like, no, timeout. In Nuremberg, Germany, this is not a PI. It's legal. Mm-hmm. Well, wait a minute. So you can do PI to me, but I can't do PI to you? Yes, that's the laws.
Yeah.
So do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Other countries can easily put tariffs on us, but we have to go through this whole system. They're following 2 different rules. So it's easier for us to get penalties than other countries to get penalties. That's the part I have a hard time with. There's certain things that if you're going to have a president to negotiate on our behalf, the laws and the rules have to be on the same side on the other side. If the other guy can do it like this and we have to eat it, but if on this side I have to wait 2 years, and if Congress, majority, minority, you're sitting there saying, "What? I lose my leverage as a president." So, to me, I hope this doesn't happen. I do think they keep bringing it up because I think Supreme Court could go against Trump, and if it does, it's another card he loses. Doesn't make me comfortable.
This is not about tariffs. This is about executive power and about the president's pen. And the president's pen has to have power. And it doesn't matter that Scott Bessent says that there's 3 or 4 other economic things that we could use at our disposal. That doesn't matter. This is about the power of the executive pen and the president's ability to lead. Because the trade deals that he got done, Pat, those don't go away. He has new trade deals with a lot of countries. But then the next morning, he then gets castrated in his ability to use tariffs and have the power of the executive pen simply because they don't like Trump.
Why did those trade deals get done? Because he threatened him with tariffs.
Because he threatened them.
Exactly.
Because he used the tool at his disposal under the tip of his pen.
Do you know what happens, Tom?
I'm $31 trillion. You're $2.1 trillion, Canada. Let's look at who really gets benefits here.
Let me tell you. You know how you see how they look at him when he comes into the room and everybody's getting in line and listening and everything? They take that away. You know how they look at him?
Here he comes.
They laugh at his face. You can't do anything to us. They're not going to let you. Your Supreme Court's your boss. Supreme Court's your boss. Like, you remember when Mayweather would fight with other guys and he would say, go talk to your agent. I'm my own guy. You go talk to your agent. Go call Bob Arum. Go call all these guys. I'm not dealing with Don. I'm dealing with myself. That whole thing, countries are going to look down at us if we don't have the tariffs versus the fear of saying we better be in line with America or else we're not going to get this. Gang, once a year we host an event called the Sales Leadership Summit. If you're a sales leader running a business and you want to find out how is the most effective way to move your revenue, watch this clip about the event that's coming up with Sales Leadership Summit. Go ahead, Rob.
Say you're a CEO, you're a boss, you're an executive, you're a leader. Which of these 4 feelings do you want your employees or your sales team to feel the most? Do you want them to like you? Do you want them to trust you? Do you want them to respect you? Or do you want them to fear you? And if I was to ask you to order them and say, I think I want them to like me first, then I want them to trust me, then I want them to respect me, I don't want them to fear me, right? This whole thing that we're talking about. Developing salespeople in a big sales team, which can exponentially increase the valuation of your company, your income, your lifestyle. This is a big problem to solve. You have to get these 4 things in order while you're developing people. Once a year, I host a conference called the Sales Leadership Summit, which is purely about developing salespeople. And we go through this 200-page manual together. This year, we're doing it at the Trump Doral from March 25th to the 27th. And that dynamic of like, trust, respect, and fear is one of the ones that creates a lot of debate. If you want to find out how you can attend this event, click on a link below, get registered. One of our consultants will get a hold of you.
All right. Having said that, click on a link below. This is you have to qualify to attend. You need to do a minimum of $1 million and have 5 people on your sales team to attend this conference. But the link is below. Click on it. Talk to our consultants. They will tell you all about it. Cannot wait to see many of you there this year at Trump Doral.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.